Well, howdy, y'all. Hope y'all are doing all right. Talked a little bit about the ATA last week. I kind of decided, there's a couple of them carrier associations. We just need to refer to them as the carrier associations. No need just to pick on one only. Might have beat up a little bit on the carriers, by the way we talked about the ATA. There's a lot of good carriers out there. Some of them belong to the ATA. Most of the good carriers don't. Carriers associations. They work hard for their drivers. They deserve some credit. What we've got to realize is the carrier associations have set the stage. Everybody else kind of has to follow along. Who sets the labor rate? Mega carriers. Bring a new guy in, pay him next to nothing. Oh, he's got to pay his dues, right? Come on. They're not even making what we made back in the 80s. It's crazy. 20 years ago. Now, cost of labor, it's what we're all fighting. As long as they pay nothing, the good carriers can only pay next to nothing. It's the market. You can't pay your help if the going rate is down there. As an owner-operator, I got to compete against the labor rate. I can't say, oh, I'm worth the money. Am I? I drive a truck. So do you. Granted, I do have a little bit of experience. My experience does count. Safety, being able to judge the traffic, manage my time. You got to learn these things. It takes time. We didn't all start off yesterday and become pros today. A lot of these carriers really exploit. It's just not good. As long as we allow them to do that, we're just keeping our rates down. We're only worth so much. We're only worth so much. And the mega carriers have established the rate. Some people say, oh, that's the free market. Let the market decide. Is it a free market? Is the market out of control? Or is it being controlled? Think about all the influencing factors at play here. Mega carriers establish the labor rate on the low end. That affects everybody's wages. Carrier associations fighting to change rules and regulations. They got the money. They got the lobbyists on the Hill, and after all, they represent the industry. So the FMCSA listens to them. Wants to know what they have to think about it. Who are the mega carriers? What carrier associations do they belong to? I kind of think if you look into it, there's a lot of crossover. They don't belong to just one. Probably belong to at least two, maybe even three. Just depends. Who do we belong to? Well, we got OOIDA. I'm trying to get a list together of some other people that look out for us, need some support. They don't have big names. They're just like me. They're trying to make a difference. Labor rate. As long as it's next to nothing, ain't none of us going to make anything. Think about it. Alright, last week we dropped a hint. Gonna start trying to pull some things together. I've been doing my best to look into things. Got some people checking things out for me. What kind of a format? Where do we go to talk? I was thinking we'd utilize a forum. But I got talking to people and they says, you know, it's just too hard to do on the cell phone. Most of you guys have cell phones. So I've been looking into the Facebook. Can we utilize the Facebook as a place to meet, place to talk, place to grow from? I've written, we're going to need about 500,000 drivers on board to tackle any of these issues. They got the money. We got the numbers. How do we put the numbers together? How do we get on the same page? Not everybody's on the computer, on the cell phone with the Facebook or the forum. You know? Now think about these things. It means we're going to have to get out and talk to other drivers, tell them what's going on. Maybe even have some business cards kind of printed up with you know, a couple of websites, you know, several groups they might be interested in joining up with. The idea here is we got to bring drivers together. Not everybody listens to the Sirius radio. Not everybody reads the Overdrive magazine. These are just sources, a way to communicate. Speaking of which, we're going to need to kind of get our voice together. Those of us that listen to the Sirius, we need to be calling in. We need to be on point. We need to have our thoughts together, what we're going to say. I don't do a very good job of that. I try. It's hard. It's not easy for me anyways. Same with Overdrive magazine. All these other magazines. How are we going to reach out to our brothers and sisters and say, hey, we want to change some things. And the only way we can change some things is if we get together. All right, gentlemen, ladies, y'all think about it. We've got to start pulling things together. As it stands right now, I think we're planning on a radio show. It's on Ask the Trucker. It's on Saturday night, usually 6 p.m. Eastern. It goes for about 2 hours. I haven't even started working on that yet. Kind of talked to Alan a little bit about it. Been messaging Catherine. Catherine's up there in Canada. Got to get a phone line with Canadian Colin. I'm working on that too. The idea was kind of 3 of us get together and talk these things out. What do we do? How do we do? When do we do? How do we pull our resources? Got a couple of people on the side. Want to start with 3. Be honest with you, I don't know if we can make this work. It's not going to work without you. You don't want it to go your way? Let the mega carriers, let the carrier associations decide for you. Until then, we've got to start figuring things out. I'm all about money. I think you should be getting paid. I think when you are getting paid, logistics are going to tighten up. Because they're paying you for being at that dock. Maybe you won't be at that dock 3-4 hours. Because they're paying you. Maybe they'll put parking in closer to the cities. Because now it costs them money. Money for you to sit 30 miles out. Come in the middle of the morning. Rush hour traffic. This is crazy. Why can't we park inside? Why are all the business districts no parking all over the place? Why are we part of the problem, the congestion problem? We know parking is a big issue. We've got seats at, I think, all 4 of the Parking Coalition of Parking Coalition hearing sections. So I think we can make a showing there. Y'all think about it, because I sure am. We need to get the word out. But before we get the word out, we got to have a place to meet. We ain't got a place to meet. We don't have a table to sit at. Nobody can sit down. So, you know, there is nobody on any kind of a panel or a board. We haven't built that yet. Don't know if we can. Don't know if y'all want us to. So y'all think about it. We'll be posting about the radio show here later this week. Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm on a hard run right now. I mean, I'm just hauling, burning a lot of diesel, trying to get there. So, I hope y'all have a good week. I should be freed up by about Thursday or Friday. Hope to be back in touch then. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Better week ahead of you. Pat Hockaday here. Call me JoJo. Goodbye.